right, so typically I'm going to have it on, we'll just go ahead and run through it as if it would be, I'd have this on both shoulders so I can't lose it. All right, I'm clipped in, I've approached, and we've got to an element, unfortunately, like either the tire bridge or the bosun's shears or something like that, where we can't really, well, actually we're gonna have to go on an element that we're standing up on, because if I hang on this, I'd just drag the ground. So actually, yes, to drag the ground. So we're just gonna pretend we're standing on the wire or the logger phase or something like that, okay? But she needs to be rescued. So first thing I'm going to do is clip on the rescue bag. You want to put the rescue bag in between the two of you. All right, that helps. Part of the reason for that is it helps keep your Y-tails separate from their Y-tails, so that when you unclip, you don't unclip yourself, because everything's going to be confused. Because, go ahead, Megan, go ahead and put a little weight into the system. So this isn't really doing it really well, but what would end up happening if you were on an element is this. We're friends. You're just all up in each other's business. Okay, so you need to be prepared for that. You need to be aware of that. And if it's a female participant, be ready, you know, to help just calm her down and act natural. All right, the more confident, the more natural and reassuring and stuff that you are, the less weird it's going to be. Okay, like you lifeguards, well, actually, that's all three of you guys.
Yeah.
You're used to that. Jeff, you have daughters, so you're used to that too. All right, so we can go ahead and stand back up. But that's what's going to end up happening. If you guys are having to hang in your whitetails, everything just slaps together and it's like, oh my gosh, we're squished. So if you have this in between the two of you, it helps keep your stuff separate from theirs. What I'm not doing in this is talking very much. All right, let's pretend that she's scared. I'm going to be reassuring her, Megan, here I come. It's going to be okay. Just hang out there. You've been talking all this time probably to begin with. Their facilitator's been talking them through this. They're prepared for this, but you're going to be as reassuring as you need to be. All right, you guys are all pretty good at that. I've seen you all facilitating. So you're just going to bust out that inner facilitator, encourager, and do whatever you have to kind of calm them down, get them to where you can rescue them. All right, so you get to them and you need to unclip the rescue bag. All right, and anytime we are going to drop anything off the course, remember what we do?
Bag down.
Yeah, bag down, and we wait for the all clear. Sorry, actually, yeah. It's been a while. All right, so you got the 8. Yeah, the whole thing.
I thought that's
you could totally do that. All right. All right, so you've got the 8, and then you're letting go of the bag.
That would be bad.
It's just the bag, right?
Yes.
Actually, you could probably just throw it up too.
I hope.
All right. Okay, bag down, clear, and down it goes. You want to throw the bag downhill. Whee! All right, so that it's out of the way. And then ground crew, you're going to take it up from there, but we'll do that in a second. Okay, so then the first thing you're going to do, just like you do well, actually, when you're in the tower, so that's another part of the tower, is operating the zip line. First thing you do when that person gets to you is clip their belay loop in. All right, so I need a little bit more slack here, so I'm going to get some more in the system. All right, Megan, I'm going to clip this into your belay loop so that you've got, now you're on this rope. Now this rope is going to be your primary lifeline now, okay? So I'm going to lower you down with this rope. You're no longer going to need your Y-tails. I'm explaining all of this to her so she doesn't freak out when I unclip her Y-tails, okay? All right, so you see how I've got this set up? This is how I'm going to lower her down. If you've done climbing wall, you always have to have a brake hand on the rope. That's my right hand over here. That's my brake hand, all right? That is not gonna leave the rope once I get her into the system where she's off of the wire. So I'm set up like this, and then a lot of times you've really got to feed the rope into the system. So I'm like pulling it through my brake hand and like pushing it almost through the system because there's so much tension up here in the rescue 8. Okay, but once you've got them on, they're ready to go down. The next part of the process is just getting them off of the wire, and that's where it's a little bit tricky. Okay, and that's where sometimes I also carry a daisy chain. We have one of them in there. I don't know, Jeff, do you see one of those things in there? That's either purple or blue. I think I've got the blue one in the van, so there should be maybe a purple one in there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. That'll work, just for a little bit of, yeah. Okay, so sometimes I carry one of these with me. I'm not even really great with one of these, but it can help in a pinch. So I'm going to attach it just the same way that I do my Y-tails via girth hitch. I've got a carabiner in the end, and then if we're both dangling in this system and I'm way down here, she's down there as well, and I've got to try to get some slack on these cables, but I can't reach up here very well, that's really, really hard. So what I can do to shorten that a little bit is before I get out there, I can wrap this daisy chain up here and then clip it back on. So this is a little bit long. I would probably adjust and clip it in somewhere like this. All right, so now I can free hang. I'm higher than she is. She's gonna be down there. Yeah, I can actually free hang, that's awesome. And now if I need to get some slack back into the system, I've got a little bit more leverage. She's down here, and so I can really get in there and try to muscle up a little bit to try to get these off. Okay, because that can be a bit tricky. That's why we end up having to cut whitetails. Also, because she can stand right now, she's not totally terrified. I can be like, okay, Megan, what I need you to do right now is just put your foot on that log, whatever the element is, tire, whatever, and just push up just a little bit for me. Or you could have them, I hadn't thought of this before, you could have them grab one of your whitetails with both hands, pull up on that one while you unclip the other one. Now that won't
You
work
still want to have a hand
if they're
on the
not too
brake,
terrified.
though.
What's that?
You still want to have that rope through and
At this
on,
point,
like, a brake, don't you?
At this point, you can't really. I don't think. Well, with that first one, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. So you'd be right here. You only need one hand. Yeah. So I could still have my brake hand.
Yeah.
I could have my brake hand on the rope here. Have them pull up on this one while I unclip this one. Now it's not going to work for the next one. All right, Megan, can you put that over your shoulder for me? Because now they can't pull on this one. You know, it's not going to help any. So, and I don't want them grabbing the rescue weight necessarily or anything like that.
Yeah,
So they're going to have to try to take a little bit of weight off so that you can get that unclipped. All right, put that over your shoulder. Now it's just belaying down like you would on the climbing wall. Okay, so she's got all of her weight in there. All right, Megan, I'm gonna start lowering you nice and easy. Okay, and I'm just feeding that down a little bit at a time. And then she's just going to get closer and closer to the ground. All right, you're doing great. That's it. Keep your feet below you. All right, so meanwhile, go ahead and stand back up. So meanwhile, the ground crew is down here. See what I mean though about all the stuff? Like it gets a little messy sometimes. So ground crew is going to be down here and you guys are back up. All right, so you're going to be on the rope. The person in front is going to be basically like the rescuer is. They're going to have it wrapped around their butt like this. They've got a brake hand on one side that does not leave the rope, and then they're going to be feeding it through like this. Now I'm going to want, if I'm the rescuer, I want a belly in that rope. All right, that means that that's a big fat rope. It's sagging down a little bit, okay? It's not really taut. Because if it's taut, I've got more tension that I'm trying to like feed through, and I can't do that. So you want a little bit of a belly in the rope, so that the rescuer is in charge of the pace, not you. You guys are just backups, all right? So that if somehow the rescuer passes out, something really horrible happens, whatever, that you then got them right here, you can just lock down, and Megan's still not gonna, you know, lower all the way to the ground. Even if she did, honestly, with that rescue aid, it's gonna be slow and controlled, but still, we need to be in control. All right, so if there's extra people on the ground, because at that point, everything on the course is stopped, you could have one more person maybe standing in back, just kind of having a hand on the rope, just kind of slowly feeding it out. But remember, if you guys are doing that, you need to be feeding it at the rescuer's pace. And if you're the rescuer and you're up there, it's okay to shut down instructions at that point. Hey guys, slow it down just a little bit. I need a little bit more slack, whatever it is. You know, that's real simple. That's not gonna freak them out too much. Okay, once they're back down on the ground crew, when they start getting close and they're like dangling and flopping around all over the place, you can kind of come up, help them get their feet. All right, go ahead and put your feet down. Great job. Thank you, Megan. It's okay. You know, you can go over to the snack bar, get a free snow cone on me after this. You know, you're gonna get her unclipped, make sure she's okay, address any concerns that all your lifeguards too. If you have to run through something really quick, you know, like if they're dehydrated, if they were a little disoriented, whatever it is, you wanna make sure that you get that addressed as quickly as possible. But so far, both the things we had were just extreme tired and extreme scared. Yeah. Yeah, get them cool, get them hydrated, whatever need be. Sit down in the shade for a little bit.
And the first kid was just scared of heights.
Yeah, he got up there and he just was not gonna let go of that pole to save his life. So, but he did let go for me to get him down. I was concerned about that, honestly.
So he did let go to save his life.
He did let go to save his life. That was the one thing. Good job, Aiden. Yeah. But that'll be something that you got to figure out too. If you've got somebody who's really, really scared and they're irrationally freaking out up there, you got to try to figure out how to talk them down a little bit. And it's tough. The other thing too is, and there's, honestly, again, if you're in the tower, you're the person that's in charge of this, is that a rescue takes a long time. It shuts down everything on the course. Nobody's moving at that point. And if you think we could technically move them through, but we don't want to because the tower person is now occupied until they're done with the rescue. So you need to keep in mind that a rescue slows everything down a lot. It also can tank the morale of the group because now people have seen somebody fail. The person feels like a failure, they're maybe a little bit embarrassed, and we're trying to mitigate all of that as facilitators and tower person and everything else. Come through, hey, you pushed yourself, I'm so proud of you. You know, like the rescue itself is scary, you were brave, you got through it, whatever it is. I gave the kid a free snow cone. Go to the snack bar, get a snow cone, tell him Matt told him to give it to you. You know, whatever it is to try to cheer him up and help him through that whole process. We do that. But so that said, the reason I say that is you've seen all of us that we've gone to great lengths not to rescue somebody. right, to try to talk them down. We've walked backwards through the course with them, holding their hands. We've helped them clip in, whatever we need to try to avoid that rescue. Now, sometimes helping them through the course can take longer than a rescue. So you got to weigh that, where they are in the group. If it's really early in the group,